Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am the one and only Nubboxid. And I've been kind of batting around some of these ideas in my head, and I'm going to try one of them right now. I'm looking at some top 5 lists. Now, I'm a big Bee Gees fan, as I'm sure I've mentioned a few times before. I have 353 different Bee Gees songs. So, I'm going to list off 5 songs that you probably haven't heard yet, but I'm suggesting that you take a listen. So, the first song on this list is My Destiny. This was from 1993. It was a bonus track from the Paying the Price of Love single. And that's probably the reason why you haven't heard it, is because it wasn't actually put out as a release. It wasn't... I don't recall it even being on the main album. It was just a bonus track that was put on there, which is a shame, because this is one of my favorite Bee Gees songs. I know one of my Bee Gees friends has this as her favorite Bee Gees song, period. And this is one I actually think should have been on at least the main album, if not put out as a release. So, My Destiny. The second song I'm going to recommend is This Is Where I Came In, which is the title track from the 2001 CD. I know that there was a certain amount of promotion for this, but I never remembered it really being featured on the radio. Which I think is a bit of a shame, because I remember actually a couple times trying to request it at my local radio station, and they said, try the oldies station. For a song that was out maybe a month, and they're telling me to try the oldies station. This is why I don't listen to the radio much anymore. Yeah, so This Is Where I Came In, from 2001. The next song I'm going to recommend is Saw a New Morning. This one is from 1973, the Life in a Tin Can record. And the reason why you probably haven't heard it is because this was during one of their valleys. You know, like every group that's been around for a long time, like Fleetwood Mac, of course we're talking about the Bee Gees, the Rolling Stones. You get your high period, you get your peaks, you get your valleys. Now, the Bee Gees had like a late 60s, early 70s peak when they had a really Beatle-ish sound to them. And then, of course, you know, time goes and people want different things. So they eventually decided that they wanted to find a new sound, which is good. You know, when you're doing something like music or acting, you know, you have to branch out to last longer. You know, the more you branch out, the more versatility you have, and it makes you that much more attractive in that aspect. So they were going through a rough patch where they're trying to find a new sound, but Life in a Tin Can did not do very well. But one song that came from that I myself enjoyed was Saw a New Morning. So this is one that I would suggest giving a listen to. And then the next song is actually about a year later, called Mr. Natural, which is from the record of the same name, Mr. Natural. And this one, again, this was still them trying to find their sound, like the new sound, which you can tell in this album and this song. They were getting there. They weren't quite there yet with like the Jive Talkins, The Nights on Broadway, Staying Alive, You Should Be Dancing. They weren't there yet, but with this album, you can see it coming. And I just happen to enjoy this song. You know, and that's actually why I'm recommending all of these songs, because I like them to varying levels. Like, I wouldn't be suggesting songs that I don't like to you. But, next up, and the 5th song on this list is Shape of Things to Come. Now, I'm not sure if this was actually put out as a release or not, but I think the reason why you may not have heard this is because it was on the same album as Whitney Houston. She did. It was that 1988 Summer Olympic album. One Moment in Time, that's the song. Whitney Houston had done One Moment in Time, and that was like the one song from that album that most people would recognize. But the Bee Gees actually had Shape of Things to Come, and me being a Bee Gees fan, I actually prefer Shape of Things to Come over One Moment in Time. Now, that's nothing against Whitney Houston. She did a good job on that song, but Shape of Things to Come is one that I enjoy more. So yeah, those are 5 Bee Gees songs that you likely haven't heard, but I would suggest. I did have a couple of honorable mentions, I guess. To Love Somebody is one of them, but I think that's one where you'll likely have heard it in one form or another. It's one of the most covered songs. So if you haven't specifically heard the Bee Gees version, you might have heard the Elvis version or the Janis Joplin version cover of it, or the Michael Bolton cover. You know, there's a lot of versions of that song out there. There's a lot of covers. And then another one of my honorable mentions was You Win Again, which was from their 1987 record, ESP. The reason why I did not put that on this list is because, well, it went to number one in the UK, so I would assume that any song that goes to number 1 anywhere probably has probably reached a few people. So that's really the only thing that's stopping me from calling You Win Again one that you haven't heard. Or To Love Somebody, of course, like I said. Lots of different covers. So there you go. 5 Bee Gees songs you likely haven't heard, but I would recommend. I'll put the links down to all the songs below. And, you know what, if I come up with another idea, or you have something that you would like me to list off, you know, let me know. And I'll consider it. And the best part about this video is you're not hearing me sing. Toodaloo.